Days of Our Lives preview video for the week of August 18, 2022 reveals that Kristen DiMera will have a meltdown in court. So it looks like it'll be her last-ditch attempt at a Rachel Black shooter cover-up. Duel's weekly promo begins with Stephanie Johnson confronting Steve Johnson over his Titan investigation, while Alex Kyriakis quizzes Xander Kyriakis about some shady filings. Next, Gabi Hernandez will get a reminder from Tony DiMera that if she brings Titan to its knees, then the DiMera CEO job is hers. Other Days spoilers say Julie Williams will talk to Foster and admit she knows the perfect person to buy the bookstore, so it seems she'll officially make him an offer. As for Belle Black, she'll complain to Marlena Evans about E.J. DiMera crossing a line, while Johnny DiMera once again stands up to his father. Johnny will insist he had E.J. removed from the case, so he meant it when he said his dad was fired. Days spoilers say Johnny will end up giving his own closing statement soon enough. Later, EJ will speak with Marlena Evans privately and seem emotional over all the lives he's altered. The show will ultimately reveal EJ's true shooter news, so it looks like he's about to face a memory flood. Kristen will put some puzzle pieces together she can't ignore and will frantically try to stall EJ soon after. That makes it sound like Kristen will figure out Rachel is the culprit and try to buy more time. Days' weekly preview video offers more proof that Rachel is the one who pulled the trigger. Kristen can be seen having a meltdown in the courtroom, where she'll ultimately have to be restrained. The only reason for Kristen to be acting this way is if she's afraid her little girl's about to get exposed as EJ's shooter. EJ will indeed prepare to spill the real story and clear Johnny's name, but Kristen may have other plans. The jury will reach a verdict while Marlena's staying with Rachel at the DiMera manse. However, Johnny's trial is headed for a jaw-dropping conclusion, so there's a good chance Kristen will blurt out, "I did it," and cause more chaos. Since Rachel has obviously blocked the memory of what she did that fateful night, Kristen may want to keep that memory shoved down. Kristen certainly won't want Rachel to relive the trauma or be haunted by this for the rest of her life. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest Kristen may be willing to go back to prison for Rachel's sake, but her phony confession may not hold up for long. Rachel seems poised to have a memory flood of her own eventually. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, August 18th, reveal that E.J. DiMera's rage will explode on Tony DiMera, while Chanel Dupree DiMera makes a plea to Johnny DiMera. Gabi Hernandez will also extend a peace offering, so let's talk about what's coming up. First, on Monday's Duel episode, Alex Kyriakis will have a shocker in store for Stephanie Johnson. This should tie in with Stephanie's new book and the publishing splash that she's about to make. Meanwhile, Steve Johnson will turn to Kayla Johnson with a special request. Days spoilers say Steve will have a plan that he needs Kayla's help on, so we'll see how she might pitch in on his hunt for Titan dirt. Over with EJ, he'll lose his temper now that Johnny has fired him. EJ will fume over not being able to see this case through to the end, especially since Johnny's future is riding on the jury's decision. Since Johnny will decide to represent himself for the remainder of the trial, EJ will worry things could take a disastrous turn. Days spoilers say EJ's fear, pain, and anger will lead to an explosive outburst, so Tony DiMera will be there to witness it. In fact, it looks like EJ will take his fury out on Tony, but he'll mostly just be frustrated with the whole situation. However, EJ only has himself to blame since Johnny fired him over the deepfake video of Chanel. Johnny will want to make sure everyone knows Chanel is innocent, but Days spoilers say Chanel will beg Johnny to concentrate on proving his own innocence instead. The focus has to be on Johnny if he's going to keep his freedom, so he may listen to Chanel's plea. Finally, Gabi will extend an olive branch to Xander Kyriakis by apologizing for how everything went down at the bistro. Xander may accept that apology since he's been working on his anger issues with Marlena Evans. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Gabi will keep up her efforts to uncover Kyriakis-related dirt, so stay tuned for updates on any big news headed her way. After months of wondering who shot EJ, the truth is finally going to come out, but not before all hell breaks loose in court, as teased in the latest Days of Our Lives preview. Plus, Julie eyes a new future for herself, and Tony makes a promise to Gabi. Before getting to the meat of this week's promo, Stephanie is more than irate when she confronts her father for investigating her boyfriend's company. He's been hired by Gabi, who has been conspiring with Tony to win back Dimera. Meanwhile, Alex wonders to Xander if there is something he's hiding. Oh, plenty! Is the whole dirty truth surrounding Xander and Philip finally going to come to light? And Tony, or is it Andre, promises Gabi the position of Dimera CEO if she can bring Titan down. In other news, Julie decides to make a big offer, one that could change the course of her life. Finally, the drama in the court continues. Belle fumes to her mother that EJ crossed a line, while Johnny reminds his dad that he fired him after dragging Chanel through the mud on the stand. EJ laments to Marlena about the pain he's caused and the lives he's altered. Under hypnosis, he's recalled it was a woman who shot him, but which one? For a moment, he considered it was Belle. Vote in our poll as to who you think shot EJ, and as Kristen blows a gasket in court, Marlena gets the news that the jury has reached a verdict. Will it be guilty or not guilty for Johnny? Read the Days of Our Lives spoilers to find out which day this week the truth about who shot EJ is revealed. Days of Our Lives spoiler reveal that Tate Black could demand custody of his son when the truth comes out. Will Tate win custody of his son and raise him on his own? Once Tate learns how far Sophia Choi has gone to keep him and his child apart, will he demand to raise his child without her being involved? Sophia was afraid that when Tate saw their child, he would decide to keep the baby. Somehow, Sophia seems to believe that she would be expected to help raise that baby. However, Sophia may find herself cut completely out of her son's life after Tate learns that she has been lying to him for weeks. Sophia knew that Tate wanted to meet the baby before it was given away. However, Sophia didn't tell Tate when she was in labor. Instead, Sophia had the baby at home and then left him in a safe haven box at the fire station. Tate has now gotten a message from the adoptive parents denying him the chance to meet his child. Can Tate let this go? Sophia played this pretty well, considering that she started crying when she saw Tesoro. Unfortunately, Tate has no idea that this little boy is his child. However, Tate already has a bond with Tesoro because Leo let him hold the baby some time ago. Tate may have curbed his anger for the moment, but it will for sure resurface soon. Sophia cannot keep this up forever. Eventually, someone is going to slip up, and the truth about this baby will come out. When that happens, Tate wouldn't care what Sophia wants because he will realize everything she had done to keep him and this child apart. Tate is not going to be happy with Sophia at all. Tate may not have wanted to raise a child with Sophia, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't want to raise his son. After all, his dad and Marlena Evans would no doubt be willing to help with the baby. Tate has always felt that the baby was a boy. Tate may be thrilled that he was right all along. Sophia could have a change of heart and want to raise the baby together. However, after everything that Sophia has done, there is now way that Tate will agree. Tate may completely block Sophia from the baby altogether. Tesoro's reveal is supposed to bring Tate some stunning news down the road. Could Tate actually learn that the baby isn't his after all? Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for Monday, August 18th, 2025. Fans can expect Alex Kyriakis to surprise Stephanie Johnson. EJ Dimera has a meltdown with Tony Dimera. Plus, Steve Johnson turns to Kayla Johnson for help. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the Peacock soap opera. Let's begin with Chanel Dupree Dimera. Fans know that Chanel went on the stand and testified at Johnny Dimera's trial. The defendant asked EJ to take it easy on Chanel. However, he felt the best way to clear Johnny was to point the finger at another suspect, no matter who they are. EJ's latest target is Chanel. Chanel will push Johnny to focus on himself rather than defending her. However, that could turn out to be a mistake if the police arrest Chanel next. Speaking of EJ, he will have a total meltdown with Tony. Since the shooting and trial, the losses just keep coming for him. Johnny told his father that he was fired. The young man also alerted Belle Black that the video of Chanel was not real, but AI. Belle seemed to scoff at the idea that the police might not do a perfect job. However, even Belle has to admit that if Johnny insists it was doctored, they need to at least check out the possibility. In addition to all of this, Tony will want to address the future of Dimera Enterprises. However, that could just push EJ over the edge. Days of Our Lives spoilers. for Monday, August 18th, reveal that Steve will have a problem to discuss with his wife. Fans know that Steve stumbled upon some criminal information about Alex. While Alex explained, maybe it wasn't quite the whole story. Steve ends up asking Kayla for help. Does this have to do with Alex and Stephanie's relationship? Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for Monday, August 18th, 2025. Fans can expect EJ DiMera to have a total meltdown with Tony DiMera. Steve Johnson and Kayla Johnson unite. Also, Gabi Hernandez issues an apology to Xander Cook-Kyriakis. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the Peacock soap opera. Let's start off with Chanel Dupree DiMera. The baker went on the stand and testified at Johnny DiMera's trial. Even though Johnny begged his father to take it easy on Chanel, there was another twist. Chanel saw the video that showed her threatening EJ, but claims she never said those things. Johnny will want to focus on protecting his wife. However, Chanel will insist that her husband should focus on clearing his own name. Read this. Days of Our Lives, spoilers. Tate seeks full custody. After Tesoro secret leaks. Demands to raise baby himself? At some point, EJ takes a break from court and ends up back at the DiMera mansion. While there, EJ will have an interaction with Tony. However, it is stated that EJ will end up having a total meltdown with his brother. Tony might want to discuss the future of the family business. Tony hasn't been able to get the family members on board with his plan. Chad DiMera is busy with The Spectator, and EJ has his hands full with Johnny's trial. So, expect to see EJ have a complete meltdown. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Monday, August 18th, reveal that Steve will continue to be troubled. Fans know that Steve came across Alex Kyriakis' criminal history. However, Steve already confronted Alex, who had a wild story about his frat years. While the story could be true, there is just something that feels off. In any case, Steve turns to Kayla with his problem. The two will put their heads together to come up with a solution. I wonder if this has to do with Stephanie Johnson. Fans can also expect Alex to surprise Stephanie once again. Plus, Gabi issues an apology to Xander Cook-Kyriakis. It's true that Gabi was trying to pry intel from Xander. However, they actually have a nice dynamic, so could it go somewhere beyond colleagues and friendship? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, August 18th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. Here's the latest comings and goings casting news from Days of Our Lives. Find out if any popular stars from yesteryear are boarding the show this week or in the near future. If any newcomers are joining the soap in contract, recurring, or day player roles. Or if any of your favorite actors or actresses are leaving the Peacock drama. Theo Penglis gets more screen time as Tony DiMera on Monday, August 18th. He has emotional scenes with his TV brother, Dan Feuerriegel's EJ. Miles Anderson pops in as Foster, the owner of a local Salem bookstore. He interacts with Susan Seaforth Hayes' Julie and others on Tuesday, August 19th. Alice Halsey returns as Rachel Black on Tuesday, August 19th and Thursday, August 21st. She shares scenes with Deidre Halls, Marlena, and others. Timothy Horner is back as Adam, Leo's juror roommate. He's part of the deliberation process in the case against Johnny on Thursday, August 21st. Carole Foreman continues her run as Judge Dabney. Her character officiates over Johnny's trial on Tuesday, August 19th and Friday, August 22nd. Here is your Days of Our Lives spoiler sneak peek video for the week of August 18th, 2025. After Johnny fires him, EJ doesn't give up and still shows up at the courthouse, ready to defend his son. Johnny gets more forceful now and reiterates his decision to his father. Johnny knows that EJ just wants to see him acquitted, but Johnny doesn't like the way his dad has gone about things. This leaves EJ with a lot of thinking to do. He reflects back on how he has handled the trial and testimony and sees that he's altered countless lives with his machinations. That video of Chanel is clearly a deep fake, and Johnny knows that EJ was responsible for it. But can he prove it? Even without EJ as Johnny's defense attorney, the trial must go on, so Kristen takes the stand. That's when all hell breaks loose in the courtroom. which fascinates juror Leo Stark. Kristen has to be dragged out as the proceedings come to a close. Later, there is a little gathering in the Dimera living room when Marlena gets a text that the jury has reached a verdict. Done. Tony meets with Gabi once again and tells her that she will be the new CEO of Dimera Enterprises. However, she needs to get as much dirt on Xander as possible first. Gabi has been working on just that, and even has some information from Steve. However, when Steve tells Stephanie that she is investigating Titan, she can't believe that her father is looking into her boyfriend's family like this. Stephanie sees it as some sort of odd betrayal, but Steve is just doing his job. When Xander and Alex discuss the investigation, Alex gets the feeling that Xander is hiding something big, and that's why this investigation freaks him out so much. Xander has a lot of skeletons in his closet, and one of them could cost him custody of Victoria. Here's your Days of Our Lives recap for Friday, August 16th, 25. When Ari made a life decision, Chanel objected to evidence and Leo struggled with sequestration. When Ari returned home, Javi spotted the Salem University brochure that she set on the table. Ari admitted that she wanted to attend Salem U rather than go to Arizona for college. "When did you make this decision?" Javi asked. Ari said she had been considering it for some time, but that she still needed to talk to Gabi. Ari confessed that she was worried her dads would not approve. "They'll miss you, of course, but I'm sure they just want what's best for you," Javi said. Ari noted that she had the best dads. "Just like you would have been," Ari said. Javi's smile faltered. Ari apologized for overstepping. "It's okay. It's not like I don't think about her all the time. I'm just not used to talking about it," Javi said. Javi admitted he had not told Leo because it was too difficult to explain to him. "My lips are sealed," Ari said. The fire department called Javi in to work. Ari agreed to watch Tesoro for him. Ari noted that she would miss Tesoro when the foster ended, and they had to give Tesoro back. "I just think about how Sophia had to give up her own baby, and how that must have been 1,000,000 times harder, you know?" Ari said. Javi nodded in agreement. The court sent Leo and the other jurors to the Salem Inn for sequestration. Fellow juror Adam told Leo that his wife was a huge fan of Leo's work. When Leo learned that superfan Adam would be his roommate, he grimaced. While Belle was reviewing her notes alone in court, Paulina walked in. "You have behaved admirably and ethically throughout these proceedings," Paulina said. Paulina informed Belle that the Attorney General was satisfied with Belle's work. Belle said she wanted to do her job, but she admitted that she did not know if she could live with sending her nephew to prison. Paulina reminded Belle that she could not worry about what the jury might do. When Paulina worried aloud about the video of Chanel, Belle stressed that the police had not believed it had been enough evidence to charge Chanel. "In the absence of any other hard evidence, it's not enough for me to charge her," Belle added. Paulina argued that the video could destroy Chanel's reputation. Outside the courtroom, Johnny talked to EJ while Chanel was in the bathroom. "I know you have a job to do, but please, do not drag her through the mud, okay?" Johnny asked. EJ said he did not want to leave any thread to support a case of reasonable doubt unexplored. But Johnny ordered EJ not to go after Chanel. "I was just telling my father to play nice with you on the stand, which he agreed to do," Johnny told Chanel when she rejoined him. "I appreciate everything you've done to defend my husband," Chanel said. EJ said he hoped they had enough to earn an acquittal. When court was called to order, Chanel testified that she believed Johnny was innocent. "And how are you so certain?" EJ asked. "The same reasons you are. Because I love him, and I know he's telling the truth," Chanel said. EJ asked Chanel if she had any doubts. When EJ hinted at his complicated history with Sammy, Chanel said that she, even though she knew Johnny had been devastated about EJ's rape, Johnny had not shot EJ. EJ countered that Johnny's anger had led to the cancellation of his adoption plans with Chanel. EJ asked Chanel if she had blamed EJ for the adoption issue. "Yes, I did," Chanel said firmly. EJ played the recording of his confrontation with Chanel the night of the shooting. Chanel asked EJ to stop the video. Once paused, Chanel protested, "I swear, that never happened. I didn't say any of that." The judge admonished Chanel not to speak unless counsel asked her a question. Leo furrowed his brow as EJ restarted the video. "I'm not going to let you live long enough to hurt Johnny or anyone else I care about ever again," Chanel said on the video. At the conclusion, EJ said, "That speaks for itself." Chanel attempted to explain herself, but EJ cut her off. The judge adjourned the court for the day. When Leo got back to the hotel with Adam, Adam started to talk about the video from court. Leo reminded Adam that they could not discuss the trial. Adam changed the subject to sports, but Leo was not interested. Leo declined to play card games, but Adam insisted on calling the front desk for a deck. Leo rubbed his head and groaned. When Leo wondered aloud about the weakness in his hand and toe was a stroke, a flustered Adam called 911, Javi with his partner for the call. "I'm feeling a lot better," Leo said. Adam detailed Leo's complaints. Once Javi's partner and Adam left the room, Leo hugged Javi. "My knight in shining armor," Leo said. Leo begged Javi to rescue him from his talkative roommate. Javi playfully pretended to choke Leo. "If I bring you down to the hospital, you might just wiggle your way out of the jury," Javi said. Leo refused because he did not want to lose his insider perspective on the case. Javi offered to tell Adam that Leo needed peace and quiet to recover. In the town square, Paulina, Chanel, and Johnny walked together. "I know I told you before that I didn't remember making those threats to your dad, but now that I've seen that video, I know for a fact that it didn't happen that way," Chanel said. Before Chanel could give details, Johnny noticed Belle, and he called out to her. As Belle started to apologize, Johnny cut her off to tell her that he believed the court video had been manipulated by AI. Belle noted that the Salem PD Forensics Department had authenticated the video. Johnny reminded Belle that he had experience with film, and he wanted to pass the video along to an AI expert on that he knew. Belle hesitated, but Johnny argued that he had the right to question evidence in his trial. "Your dad is your attorney. He would have to file a formal request," Belle said. "If I'm right, and this video is a deepfake, I think he might be the one behind it," Johnny said. Johnny left to confront his father. Chanel said that she agreed with Johnny's theory because the end of the video was a fabrication. Paulina noted that the fake had been so good that she had believed it had been Chanel in the video. Chanel wondered aloud how the Salem PD expert had missed the evidence. "Maybe EJ has a mole in the forensics department," Paulina suggested. Paulina vowed to investigate. Belle noted that EJ was capable of bribing the police, but that the new technology was also getting better every day. "Law enforcement is having a hard time keeping up," Belle said. When Johnny arrived at the Dimera mansion, EJ argued that he had met Johnny's request. "I never accused Chanel of shooting me," EJ said. "Save your pathetic excuses. I just came here because I've got 2 words for you. You're fired," Johnny said. Tate was sitting in the Brady pub when Sophia walked in. Tate told Sophia that the parents had declined Tate's request to see his daughter. "Maybe this is what's for the best," Sophia said. Tate vehemently disagreed. "Are you kidding me?" "I'm not going to give up," Tate said. Sophia reminded Tate that their daughter belonged to someone else. "I'm her biological father. They have to let me see her," Tate demanded. Tate wanted to talk to the lawyer about arranging a meeting. As a frustrated Sophia started to tell Tate to drop it, she saw Ari entering the pub with Tesoro. When Ari stopped by the table, Sophia tensed. Ari noticed and apologized to Sophia for having been insensitive. Ari started to leave, but Sophia asked her to stay. "If it's okay with you, I'd like to see him again," Sophia said. "What do you mean again?" a puzzled Tate asked. Sophia explained that she had met him with Javi. "I met him with Leo. Isn't that right, Tesoro?" Tate cooed at the baby. With a grin, Tate noted he had even held the baby. Sophia's eyes went wide. Tate asked Sophia if she was okay. Sophia started to cry, and she said, "I just can't. I'm sorry." Tate pulled Sophia into his arms and let her weep. "I don't know what I was thinking. I should not have stayed here with the baby. I'm sorry," Ari said. Sophia said it was okay, but Ari left anyway. Sophia apologized to Tate for having gotten upset. "I really thought that I was doing okay and that I was, like, healing or whatever." And then because I thought I was going to be over it by now, but I'm not, Sophia said. Tate apologized. I can't believe what a jerk I've been just thinking about myself when all you've wanted is to do what's best for our baby, Tate said. No, this has been really hard for you too, Sophia said. With a sigh, Tate agreed that he needed to let go of their daughter. Here is your weekly recap for Days of Our Lives for the episodes that aired August 11th through 15th, 2025. Chad continued to take care of both Felicity and Chad. Kat apologized to Chad for having kissed him while she was feverish. Chad lied and told Kat she had not kissed him. Chad grew feverish, and Kat insisted that he stay so that she could return the favor and take care of him. Rafe left homemade soup at Kat's door with a note from his alias, James. Kat lied and told Chad that James was an ex who wanted to win her back. After Sarah grabbed Brady and kissed him, Xander took a swing at him. Brady blocked the punch, and Gabi ushered Xander out of the bistro. Gabi dressed down Xander for his behavior. Xander apologized. Sarah apologized to Brady for using him to upset Xander. Xander apologized when he saw Sarah and Brady in the square, but they did not want to hear it. Sarah threatened to tear up their custody agreement if Xander did not start anger management classes. Xander talked with Marlena about his temper, and he asked her for help. Gabi took Brady to dinner, and they discussed the state of Titan Demera. Brady admitted that he felt like he had let John down. Gabi told Brady that he was a good man like his father. Brady decided to attempt to take over his company. Gwen teased Sarah about her failed marriage. Gwen told Sarah that Xander had moved on with her. When Sarah was skeptical, Gwen told Sarah to talk to Leo about when he had seen Gwen and Xander stumble into the hotel together. When a hungover Xander went to the mansion to pick up Victoria, Sarah asked about Xander's conversation with Marlena. Xander said that Marlena had taken him on as a client. Still furious, Sarah slapped Xander. Sarah revealed that she knew that Xander had jumped into bed with Gwen. Xander told Sarah what had happened on the 4th of July, but Sarah told him that kissing Gwen was still a betrayal. Xander confronted Gwen about Sarah. Gwen claimed that she had done it to help Xander by making Sarah jealous. Xander reminded Gwen that they were not friends. Frustrated, Gwen told Xander that she hated him as much as everyone else in Salem. Javi ran into Sophia with her mother, and he said hello. Sophia was nervous when Amy interacted with baby Tesoro, but she quickly ushered her mother away when Amy commented on how Tesoro looked like her son. When Javi talked to Rafe about the incident, he wondered aloud if Sophia could be Tesoro's mother. Javi dismissed the idea since the timelines did not add up. Sophia opened up to Ari, but she ultimately did not tell Ari that Javi's foster child was Sophia's son. Tate and Holly resumed dating in earnest. Belle walked in on Tate and Holly in bed together. Tate was devastated when the adoptive parents rejected his request to see his daughter. When Sophia broke down in tears after she ran into Ari and Tesoro in the pub, Tate apologized for having been insensitive to Sophia's feelings. Tate agreed to let go of their child so that Sophia could move on. Belle asked EJ if he had known about the representative from the start at the attorney's office. EJ said no, but Belle argued that EJ was okay with destroying her career to tally a win. Belle told EJ that he was worse than his father. EJ insisted he did not want to lose Belle, but she said she was already gone. Rachel reluctantly testified as a witness in Johnny's trial that she had overheard Johnny and EJ's argument and that she had seen Johnny with the gun. When asked by EJ if there had been enough time between the argument and the gunshot for Johnny to have left, Rachel said yes. Marlena put EJ under hypnosis again and remembered that the shooter was a woman. Unfortunately, the memory of the identity of the woman was still blocked. EJ subpoenaed Marlena to testify about his hypnotherapy sessions. Marlena announced that she would no longer do hypnotherapy with EJ. EJ was suspicious. EJ confessed to Gwen that he believed Marlena knew who the shooter was. Gwen guessed that Belle had been the shooter, and EJ admitted he had suspected Belle as the assailant. In the courtroom, Belle got Marlena to admit on the witness stand that EJ's subconscious could have lied under hypnosis. On cross, EJ had Marlena confirm that she believed his memory of the gender of the shooter was genuine. Johnny told Chanel about EJ's breakthrough from hypnotherapy. Chanel worried that EJ would use the new information against her on the stand. When Chanel told Paulina, Paulina urged Chanel not to testify. Chanel told her mother that she was willing to help with Johnny's case. Kristen needed to return to the courthouse, and Kristen reluctantly agreed to leave Rachel with Sarah. Over ice cream, Rachel asked Sarah if she planned to divorce. When Sarah said she and Xander were committed to doing what was best for Victoria, just like Rachel's parents, Rachel said she wished she and her parents were still a family. Johnny warned EJ not to go after Chanel in an effort to secure a reasonable doubt. While Chanel was on the witness stand, EJ played the video of Chanel threatening him the night of the shooting. After the court adjourned, Chanel told Paulina and Johnny that the video was a fake. Concerned about a deep fake and corruption in the Salem PD, Johnny agreed to have an expert in AI look at the video. Johnny fired EJ. Days of Our Lives fans, we have seen Chad Dimera and Kat Green growing much closer as the summer heats up. But Chad suspects Kat is keeping a big secret. And Chad is not wrong about that. We've got a lot to unpack about Kat's secret and why Chad is wildly off the mark about what Kat is hiding from him. Now, let's dive in. We all know that Kat has been dragged back into working undercover for ISA director Shane Donovan as a financial analyst. Kat's mysterious text and that container of soup dropped at her door could spur Chad to dig deeper into what is going on with Kat. Let's talk about Chad and Kat. We've watched Chad gravitate towards her for months. Even though Kat once faked being his dead wife, Abigail Devereaux, to save her mother from Clyde Weston's psycho control. That is all water under the bridge between Chad and Kat. Even though Julie Williams and Abigail Devereaux's mom, Jennifer Horton, still despise Kat. They wish she would leave town or drop dead. Dealer's choice. Now, Chad and Kat have had a busy couple of weeks. They were stuck in an elevator together. Then Kat had a strep throat infection. Since Chad got that smooch from Kat that gave him her strep, and the tortilla soup showed up, things are getting weird. Chad may begin to wonder what Kat is hiding. The mysterious text from Rafe Hernandez and the soup at her doorstep have Chad intrigued. You can tell he is ruminating on this, especially because he recognized the soup as a recipe that Gabi Hernandez has made before. Obviously, Rafe and Gabi share the same Hernandez soup recipe. With Kat just kissing him and Chad knowing she has feelings for him, where does this James guy fit into the picture? That's what Chad is wondering. Of course, we all know James is just the name Rafe uses to keep their connection private, since he is her FBI liaison working on this assignment that Shane gave them. They are looking into EJ Dimera's funds for the university hospital purchase. Since Chad runs the Salem Spectator, we have to wonder if he will dig in and do some research himself. Or maybe he'll have his top reporter, Leo Stark, poke into Kat private business to find out who James is and what their deal is. What's funny is Leo Stark lives with James, who is Rafe, his boyfriend Javi's cousin. So if he asks Leo to dig in, Chad could find out Kat is actively investigating his brother EJ for the ISA. Days fans are mixed, but most are against the blossoming relationship between Chad and Kat Green. Many viewers think it's twisted for Chad to be anywhere near the woman who pretended to be his dead wife, Abigail. In addition to Julie and Jennifer hating Kat, Jack Devereaux and Jack Jr. Devereaux are also not fans of Kat. They all wish Chad would leave it in the rearview. Recent episodes showed Julie Williams berating Kat in front of Chad, but he shut that down hard. Then Julie choked out an apology, but I don't think she's done being mean to Kat. Chad knows Kat only did what she did to Chad's family to protect her mother. Kat has tried very hard to make amends since then. As a result, Chad and Kat have been forming a strong bond for many months now, and it continues to grow every single day. On their bachelor's auction date, for instance, they went skydiving. Chad was shocked that Kat had jumped a few times and actually knew the instructor. I'm curious if the instructor was maybe part of her ISA training. That would be interesting. Kat and Chad spent an uncomfortable night alone in a hospital elevator. That kind of moved things forward with them too. When Kat and Felicity Green had strep throat, Chad really stepped up. But when sneaky spy lady Kat got soup and a text from an incognito Rafe, that's when Chad really began to wonder what is going on. It's not the first time Chad has seen Kat getting mysterious texts from Rafe's alias and texting him back. Little does Chad know, Kat and Rafe are aiming to take down his brother EJ. According to Shane's research, EJ is rich, but not rich enough to buy the near-bankrupt hospital. Neither Rafe nor Kat can tell anybody about their secret assignment. But now that Kat told Chad the made-up story about an ex-boyfriend being the one who delivered the tasty soup like a personal DoorDash, Chad may not be able to let it go. Of course, Kat cannot say anything. It's doubly secretive because Chad is the brother of the target of her and Rafe's investigation. Even worse, Kat may try to weasel some info from Chad discreetly to use against his brother EJ. That's what spies do, but it would put Chad in an awkward position if he found out. He might not like it. We could see Kat's cover blown pretty soon. First, Chad could overhear a meeting between Rafe and Kat. Although they sometimes meet in the little office that Shane got them, they might need to meet urgently. They might chat in the park or Horton Square to share intel, and Chad might overhear. Second, there's the possibility that Chad may accidentally see a text message. Or he might decide to be sneaky and go through Kat's texts behind her back. Chad may feel a little jealous because he is starting to catch feelings for blonde bombshell Kat. He and Kat did share that delirious fever kiss that he seemed to be into for a second. But Chad is a gentleman. He told Kat she was just dreaming and not to worry about it. A third way Kat's secret may be added is that Chad could learn from EJ that he suspects something is up with Kat. EJ's assistant, Rita Leslie, could tell EJ that Kat is poking around the hospital. EJ might then grill Chad about her. There is definitely something up with all the odd budget cuts. Turning up the heat. Getting rid of the coffee. No fresh fruits and vegetables in the cafeteria. EJ is up to something. Plus, Dr. Wilhelm Rolf just got name-dropped again. That may be foreshadowing that the mad scientist could be working in the hospital lab now that EJ owns the joint. We know Chad wants nothing to do with dirty dealings, but Chad would have done anything to bring Abigail back from the dead. If you remember, he asked Dr. Wilhelm Rolf to save her. He said he couldn't do it. It was too late. Then, after Chad and Jack had Abigail grave exhumed and it was empty, that was all really hard. Right now, Chad is trying to move forward. He's moved out of the house and he's living at the Horton house. He's trying to work through the grief, get closure, and move forward because he has finally accepted Abigail is gone. We do know Chad loves his brother. He may try to warn EJ if Chad finds out Kat and Rafe are looking into his brother. Chad may sneak a peek at Kat's phone and find out what she's hiding. If Chad blabbed to EJ, that could put Kat in a really tough spot. Also, Chad would have to decide which of them to betray. We'll see if Kat's big secret is outed by Chad and exactly where his loyalties lie soon enough.